MRD has developed in-house proprietary software to enable you to design your property strategy blueprint. It allows you to answer questions like, how much property do I need to enjoy total financial freedom? How long will it take before I have the choice of whether to work or not? What action steps do I need to take in order to be part of the elite group of 5% who are financially set up for life? Could I perhaps bring forward my retirement by 10 years or more? And is it actually possible to break free of the rat race and pursue things I am passionate about? So let's take a sneak glimpse into what your very own individual consult with an MRD property mentor could look like using our strategy blueprint software. As an example, let's use Fred and Mary Smith. We'll assume they own an average home that they still owe $250,000 on, and they have no investment property yet. They are basically starting from scratch. This is their starting point. On any journey, the starting point is the first thing you need to know. The next thing you need to know is your destination, what it is you want to achieve. What's your goal? How much is enough for you? How much will a comfortable retirement cost? And what does retired mean to you? Let's just say you're comfortable living off $1,000 a week after tax. That's $52,000 a year in today's money. We now have both our starting point and where we want to get to, our destination. Now we need to make some assumptions or expectations of what's going to happen along the way. Fred and Mary Smith are 45 years of age, and their target is to retire at 60 in 15 years. Using the interest rate average of 7.5%, let's be really conservative and assume the property doubles on average only every 10 years. Keeping in mind historically, a residential property doubling cycle is 7 to 10 years. As you can see, the strategy blueprint gives a fail. That simply means that mathematically where Fred and Mary want to be in the future, given their current circumstances, is not achievable. So what do they need to do differently? What additional action should be taken before the strategy blueprint software gives a pass result? Let's look at this objectively. How with an investment property portfolio, true financial freedom can be within reach. The key behind the power of this strategy is in having a large enough property portfolio so that it grows faster than the $1,000 a week Fred and Mary need. We measure this through LVR, or loan to value ratio. The twofold criteria for a strategy blueprint pass mark is 1, having your overall LVR less than 50% in that first year you give up work, and number 2, having your LVR continue to fall year after year, even if you choose to draw on equity for lifestyle. As added protection, MRD includes these safety checkpoints to form the baseline criteria of your property strategy blueprint. So now all that's left to know is how many properties over what time frame will give us a pass mark. Let's start with one average $450,000 house purchased in 2012. The LVR is still rising, thus the result is still a fail. Add another property the following year and the LVR is still rising. Number 3 is a similar style of property, but I'll assume it costs $500,000 given property prices increase over time. Still, the strategy blueprint shows a fail and the LVR would continue to rise if Fred and Mary were to draw the equivalent of $1,000 a week in today's dollars. What happens if we add one more property? Bingo, we have a pass result. Congratulations, the LVR is still under 50% in the first retirement year, and the safety gauge demonstrates that the LVR continues decreasing year on year. The red line here represents what you owe. The blue line is the value of your properties. The difference, your equity, is your ever-increasing pool of wealth. As these lines separate, our investment becomes safer and safer. The value of what we owe becomes quite insignificant and we end up with a strong asset base. This provides us with the lifestyle that ultimately our children will enjoy. So from a standing start at age 45, Fred and Mary Smith have the opportunity to retire at age 60 on an amount equal to $52,000 in today's dollars, tax-free, year after year if they can acquire 4 properties in the next 4 years. The beauty of this strategy blueprint software is its ability to play what-if scenarios. What if Fred and Mary wanted to draw out more than $52,000 a year, say 55? It fails, they can't. What if they wanted to quit after working 14 years, a year earlier? Another fail. So $52,000 in 15 years looks to be the best they can do, or is it? How about Fred and Mary buying a different area? Let's consider areas with less supply of property and more demand for it. This will produce a faster doubling rate. If we change the doubling rate from 10 years to 9, what will be the difference? Would $55,000 a year now be possible? Yes, it is. So exactly how much extra could Fred and Mary retire with in this situation? $60,000? $70,000? $80,000? $90,000? No, not $90,000. $80,000 is their upper limit. Who would have thought that such a small difference between properties would result in Fred and Mary increasing by almost $30,000 a year, what they had to spend after quitting work forever? This highlights the importance of choosing the right property. If we put the annual amount required back to $52,000 a year and opt for a sooner retirement, what can Fred and Mary expect? 14 years? Yes. 13 years? Yes. 12 years? Yes. 11 years? No. Okay, so the decision they have is whether to give up work at 60 on $80,000 a year or to give up sooner, age 57, on $52,000 a year. Now, even better research property with an 8-year doubling cycle would allow Fred and Mary to retire at 60 years on $125,000 a year, or stick to the desired $52,000 a year, but retire at 56. Okay, let's go one step further. What if they invested into property that doubles at the historical average of 7 years? In the previous example, they could have up to $125,000 a year, but now that will be a whopping $165,000. So if history continues to repeat itself and Fred and Mary acquired these 4 extra properties, they will be in a very impressive financial position. True financial freedom is certainly within their reach. Let's play another what-if scenario. What if they went about this at a slower pace and acquired a property every second year? On $52,000 a year, they would fail. MRD's strategy blueprint software will calculate what will make this goal a reality. We'll continue to increase the number of years working, and there you have it. By adding 4 properties, but over this longer time frame, Fred and Mary can still comfortably afford to retire, financially independent in 17 years. At just 62, they would still be well ahead of most. As demonstrated, it only takes a small number of properties to achieve a healthy financial future, a lifestyle of choices. MRD's strategy blueprint software will calculate properties bought under the National Rental Affordability Scheme, or NRAS as they are known. Perhaps you have an underperforming superannuation account. This software will allow you to calculate your financial strength with a mix of property you own, as well as property held inside a self-managed superannuation fund. Look what would happen if Fred and Mary added one more property, but this time through their super. Their loan-to-value ratio diminishes to nothing. With super, without. The difference is massive. Why? Because under current legislation, properties bought inside a super can be sold tax-free later on. In our example, the property held in super is sold and the profits used to pay down Fred and Mary's property debt. Buying property inside of self-managed super can be a fantastic vehicle for turbocharging your wealth at the very time in life you need it most. There's so much more to MRD Strategy Blueprint software. It's a powerful, hands-on tool that can be tailored to suit your family, your situation, and your options. With it, you determine the action you want to take and move forward with a pretty clear picture of how to unlock your retirement and secure your financial future. Things don't have to stay the same. Speak with MRD today to design your property strategy blueprint.